Good morning. Has fear ever set you back? Have you ever missed out on an important activity or vacation or job or new experience, all because you were too fearful? Do you have a talent or a goal that you have just been too scared to pursue just because your fear takes over? I'm sure fear is something that we can all acknowledge that we feel on a daily basis. But how does that affect us? How could our lives be different if we didn't feel this everyday fear? For me, the most fear I currently recognize in my peers and myself is for the future. It doesn't matter what age you are, the fear of what's to come will forever be prominent in so many people's lives. At this point in my life, as a senior in high school, there is a lot of fear for college and leaving our families and friends as we grow older. These fears are rational and completely normal, but letting them take over is not. Missing out on your own life because of your fears is not. The gospel today describes 3 slaves, 2 of which had trust in the world and did not let their fear hold them back from making something of what they were given. The third, however, had fear. He had fear in what would happen if he didn't hide away what was given to him. And because of that, he was punished. When I first read this gospel, I had trouble finding any good in it. What kind of message is it telling if the man with fear was punished so deeply? How can you find hope in punishment? Changing perspective, I realized a few things. One being, you can't find hope in every message you're given. Going into the real world, I've learned more and more that sometimes bad things happen. Usually, you can't help it if they do. That, honestly, might not be the best message for me to leave with you today, but it is the truth. Just because bad things can happen, though, does not mean that we should fear bad things always happening. The first 2 slaves in the gospel, who likely have never experienced great things in their lives, had trust in the opportunity they were given. They had trust that they were able to make something of themselves, so they did. As painful as it may be, even if you have faced tremendous disappointments in your life, you have to keep going. When presented with an opportunity that could likely bring good, embrace it. Embrace the change, embrace the fear, embrace the pain, feel it all, and do something for yourself. Another thing I realized from this gospel is how easy it is to put yourself into a place of self-sabotage. We as people can acknowledge that something is great or life-changing, yet we still let ourselves ruin it. Maybe we ruin it because we are fearful, or maybe we ruin it because we do not believe that we deserve something so good. But we do deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve the good things that come to you because of the work and dedication that you put into your life. You deserve the opportunities and successes that are handed to you. You deserve all of that, so why is it so hard to accept that for so many of us? Then, when we ruin these opportunities for ourselves, we begin to sulk and wonder why good things can never come to us. We all do it. It's only natural. But why don't we ever learn? I don't have all of the answers. No one does, honestly. It's human nature to live, ruin, regret, and learn. Should we regret every mistake we ever made in our lives and every opportunity we have missed? No, definitely not. But we should learn from everything we do. You may self-sabotage or fall victim to your fear and then be mad at yourself for that, but you have to take it as a learning opportunity. You may not always be able to go back and repair what you have lost, but you can always look forward and understand that you can do better next time. That idea of looking to the future, however, does bring me back to the fears that we all often face. We are deeply unsure of the future. You can never tell what is coming next. With that idea, you can either be scared and hide away until you realize that you have missed out on some really life-changing experiences, or you can be excited. You can be excited over the unknown and understand that within all of the bad things that may happen, there's so much good coming for you too. Personally, I face a lot of everyday fear as well. Especially as I get further into my senior year, I realize that a lot of change is happening. Even without that looming change, I have always been a very fearful person. I fear change, yes, but I also fear things staying the same, and I fear loss and pain and stress. The list could go on, and as I'm sure it could for many of you as well. When we are in these places of fear, it's hard to see any light. We would rather stress ourselves out so badly than just sit down, breathe, and realize that everything happens for a reason. Pain is temporary, and your fears are not always going to be true. Even if they are, and you lose something, at least you tried. You put yourself into a position where you could gain something. You should always be proud of yourself for that. Everything happens for a reason, as I mentioned before. That is a quote that I try to live by nowadays. In my mind, God has a plan. It may be hard to understand or believe that sometimes, but throughout every hardship, you made it out, and you found good in your life beyond that. As the quote goes, you have made it through all of your hardest days. It doesn't matter, it doesn't make those days any less painful, but it does make you so much stronger. Fear comes from a place of uncertainty and hurt from the past, but your past doesn't define your future. Don't let it ruin it either. So, if you're like me and about to face some of the most major changes in your life, embrace it. Go out into the world and take the reins. Easier said than done, but you've done it before. You've made it to where you are today, and now it's time to go even further. Nothing's going to be simple or easy, but you know that already. Run towards your fears, never away from them. Most of all, be proud of what you can accomplish when you do. Amen.